Hello, guys. In this video, we're going to be talking about the 2032 election. I know it's very far away, but I think it's important to look at the electoral map 10 years into the future. And this is just an estimate from a tweet I saw that did the math on it. So I could tell you which states gain electoral votes so far based on the estimates. If the population trends stay the same, it'll be Delaware gaining a seat, so they get 4 electoral votes. Florida gets up to 33 seats, they gain 3. Georgia will gain 1, so they go to 17. Idaho will gain 1, they get to 5. North Carolina gains 1, they go to 15. Tennessee gains 1, they go to about 12. Texas gets 4, they go to 44. Utah gets 1, they go to 7. And the losers. California loses 5 seats. You heard that, 5. That's crazy. Illinois loses 2. Minnesota loses 1. New York loses 3. My home state. It's getting weaker and weaker just every decade. Darn. Pennsylvania loses 1. And Rhode Island will finally lose its last electoral vote, which it barely kept last time around. So overall, if we fill in the states, I'm going to fill it in from the 2020 election. We could see which states, which the blue states or the red states, are gaining. I'm going to say it's definitely the red states, definitely big gains in Florida and Texas. So let's get this done. Okay. You could see a lot more Republican electoral votes, especially with the Florida and Texas gaining so much and California and New York losing so much. So overall, it's a huge loss for Democrats in 2032. But let me just reset the map. Let's see what this is kind of like a future trends video as well. Just smack them right in the middle to 2 videos, but someone recommended me do future trends. So here's what I think it would look like in 2032, the election. Illinois would still be solid. Same with New York, New Jersey. These states are just still pretty solidly Democratic. New Hampshire and Maine, I see them as becoming pretty solid likely states, while Maine second would just narrowly lean towards Republicans. Probably could go to likely if the rural trend keeps going. Minnesota still sees a likely state. Michigan, it has a very sizable population center in Detroit. Same with Pennsylvania and Philadelphia. Still think would be more leaning Democratic states, but they're still swing states because they're still in the lean category. Now, let's go with the more solid Republican states over time. Iowa, Ohio by 2032 would just be solid red states. There really is no disputing that. Same with Florida, with how it's trending. I could just see it becoming solidly Republican. Alaska, I would put it as a likely red state. I definitely do think it'll be under 10% by the next decade, while Colorado would be solidly Democratic. Same with Virginia as well. I mean, it could go to likely, but then again, I think Youngkin's victory was more so of a fluke, if anything. He was just the right candidate at the right time. Nebraska, I could see, is lean Democratic. Let's go with the leaning Republican states. Definitely Wisconsin by now, I just think. But if the Republicans aren't able to stop them losing voters in Waukesha County, honestly, I'm going to put it as tilt red because I really think there's not the best trends going for Republicans here, but still they have a lot of rural areas here that's sizable population, so it is tilt Republican. Texas, I still think would maybe be a lean red state, but then again, a lot of favorable trends going in favor of the Democrats here, so it could definitely shift towards the Democrats, but I'm going to be a bit cautious, still put as a lean red state. New Mexico still classifying as likely blue. Georgia also as likely blue. I just think the trends here are very beneficial for Democrats in the Atlanta suburbs and Atlanta itself. They're experiencing a lot of growth. Arizona would be a more leaning blue state, while Nevada, I could see it going as tilt blue because the Republicans are doing a bit better in every election here. In the state of North Carolina, again, I think it's definitely going to be a swing state for a while. The Republican areas and the Democratic areas are experiencing similar levels of growth in North Carolina, so I think it'll go back and forth, back and forth. But for now, it's tilt. Now I'm reconsidering it. It might be a tilt blue state, just based off the trends here. I gotta really research about North Carolina. I'm gonna do a little thing here. I think it'll be a tilty Dem state, or kind of tilt towards the Dems just by a little bit, just because I do think the urban areas are kind of slightly outpacing the rural ones in North Carolina. I would have to look back on it. But this is how I think the 2032 election would turn out with the new electoral votes added and subtracted from each state. So overall, the Republicans do slightly better than they did before in the 2020 election. But Texas, if they lose Texas, that's really bad for Republicans, because look at this. They could sweep a lot of the swing states, even the Rust Belt. They could get PA, Michigan, North Carolina, Nevada. And if Texas goes the Dems' way, that's really bad for Republicans. But for now, I think they'll still be lean red, even in 2032. But it'll definitely be a hotly contested state. So it might be going to the Democrats' way. It really depends on the fate of Texas, if it benefits Republicans or Democrats more, the new electoral map in 2032. So I guess that's my election prediction of the 2032 election and the trends of it. Let me know what you think of this video in the comments below, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.